Hey everyone, it is not an urban night here. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to get a job after you graduate university, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of tips that you can do, as well as kind of what activities that you can go for when you're in university or college. A lot of people ask me about how they can find the next step, especially for students who are going to graduate soon, as well as students who are in their final year or in their third year, and they just want some advice on how they can get a job after they graduate. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is volunteering, because I volunteer quite regularly. And by that, I don't stick to any sort of organization. I volunteer based on what my interests are, as well as what skills that I'm hoping to gain. So the reason why volunteering is super helpful is you can use this kind of experience to build your resume, as well as some skills that you're interested in learning. And then also when you're in university, something that I like to think about is to begin with an end in mind. And by that I mean going into your first or second year with the intention of, do I want to go to graduate school after the 4 or 5 years, or do I want to enter the workforce for experience? Obviously, what you choose is up to what your goal is, but for my story, I really wanted to get into the workforce after I graduated university from my undergraduate, so I decided that I wouldn't be applying to any graduate schools, and I would focus on getting work experience, or experience in the field that I'm hoping to go into. So what I did for that is, in my first year, I joined a lot of clubs that were of interest to me. One of them was focused on funding environmental initiatives on campus, and that really led me to where I am currently. Another tip that a senior in university gave me is that if you're looking to graduate and obtain a job right after you graduate, always in your final year take a lighter course load. That way you can focus your efforts on writing your resumes, or meeting with employers, or preparing for interviews. I think that was a very helpful tip for me, especially because then the first few years I got all my needed courses away, and then on my final year I took a little bit easier courses so I can focus on finding those jobs, as well as applying as early as January of the year that I was going to graduate. So it gave me around 6 months to find a position that I wanted to do. So I was able to start my job in June, July. So right after I graduated university, I was able to start right away. And I think that really goes to always talking to seniors, your peers that are older than you in a different, I guess, major, or even in a different year. They always have insight on how the job market looks like, so it's great to join clubs and talk to your older students about their tips if they have for you. What else? So when I was in university, I did a summer student co-op position. So that was the year before I graduated. So in the summer, I took on a summer co-op position. And then I entered into my final year after that, and getting a job was much easier when you have work experience. Another tip that I have is the year before you graduate, so in your junior year, so in your third or fourth year, remember to take a course if they have like experiential courses that you can take, and those ones are connected to the school usually. Like the professor would find a position for you or a placement that is in the field that you want to do or is related to your major. And then using that experience, you can find a co-op position after that in the summer. And then if you take easier courses in your final year, you have that work experience now, and you can also take other courses that are important to you. So always, like I said before, begin with the end in mind. So begin your university career with what you want to do after you graduate. So obviously people will say that I don't know what I want to do after I graduate, or I don't even know if this is the major that I'm thinking about. And I resonate with that a lot, but one thing that I wanted to say is that when you go into university or college, pick a major or subject that is very interesting to you. And the reason why I say this is because I know a lot of people go to college because what their parents want them to study, or what they heard others think that is very good. And it's always important to ask yourself why I'm going to a certain major or subject, and am I interested in learning about this for 3 to 4 years? And if the first thing that pops up in your mind is no, then obviously that's not a major that you should go into. Always ask yourself, do I want to study this? Why is this interesting to me? And why do I want to go into this subject? I think it's really important to do a lot of self-reflection and self-awareness on what you want to study in university, and not what I guess other people want you to study or what you think other people would want. It would make your university journey a lot more enjoyable as well, because you are studying and reading about a subject that you like, and it will lead you to something maybe like a career or job that you enjoy as well. Another resource that I wanted to share is that to take advantage of your career center at university, because I really think that they hold very helpful sessions. A lot of them are workshops on how to write a resume. Also, sometimes they have mock interviews as well. One of the sessions that I found really helpful is I think back in my second or third year, they held a workshop on how to use LinkedIn or start your LinkedIn account, and that's how I got started in the professional at work. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. Another resource that I think is super helpful if your college or university has it is a resume review. So just like usually it's like 5-10 minutes, and it's with either a career strategist or a upper year student, and they kind of look over your resume. You can bring a job ad as well. So I think that's a resource that's super helpful. We talked a little bit about volunteering, a little bit about joining the clubs that focus on the skills that you want to gain, as well as finding a subject that you enjoy. So I hope that was helpful for you. If there's anything that you want to talk about or ask me a question on, you can feel free to leave a comment below. I really appreciate your comments, and I hope you can use some tips that will help you find a job after you graduate, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.